Oh,
Don't touch anything. And hey, what's up? It's Eric at Horse Trauma. Um, we wanted to go live a bit more, especially on our YouTube channel, to pump some stuff out to give you guys more content. This particular episode is about how Dead Horse Trauma started as a band. Um, I I wanted to play music, and this goes out to the guy that's the younger me looking on YouTube and looking for any information that you can find out about how to start a band. So this is kind of how we got our start. Is I went everywhere. I went to a place called Copyworks there in Ames, Iowa, and I found a place that does 2-cent copies. So I invested about $20 into getting all the copies that I could, and so I did 4 per page, looking for members. I didn't want to come off as completely amateur, like it's just me. It kind of helps to have other people believing in your dream with you. So I printed out that I was looking for just a guitarist, because I knew if I could start out with the guitarist there, we could work together. I had a drummer in mind. I talked with some local musicians from Des Moines. Shout out to Brian Ikowitz, is one of the first guys that I approached about starting this project, and ended up getting my friend Matt Wingerter, longtime friend, to get his drums out of storage and actually start doing some stuff with me. So um, it was New Year's Eve. We got really drunk, and I talked him into doing it. So he ended up getting his stuff out, and we decided to start our search for different members. So, like I said, back to the flyers. I printed out 4 per page, and just put them up everywhere. In Ames, there's Iowa State University, so I figured there'd be some musicians on campus there. Walked all over the place, put up flyers in anywhere that I thought people would see them. That were a rock metal band looking to start, to start a band, and if anybody was interested, to contact us, and we would hit them up with interview questions, things like that. Um, so, in addition to handbills, which is I put out thousands of those things just to find out where we're gonna find people. I would put them at places where musicians would be, like Guitar Center. They had Riemann Music that they're in Ames, a few other places, and just walked everywhere. And while I was doing this, while I was working, while I was doing everything, I was talking to people. I don't care if you were 95 years old. I was asking you, hey, do you know anybody that plays guitar? Do you know anybody that plays bass? That kind of stuff. Um, and you would get a lot of good leads, like people that you wouldn't expect. Like the teller there at the gas station. That, oh, my brother plays guitar. All right, cool. Is he looking at starting a band or anything like that? It's like, I don't know, maybe. It's like, what's his number? Like, I'll give him a call. I would literally call that guy up, and maybe if he wasn't interested, he would have another friend that played guitar that was interested. So it's all about networking and getting in there everywhere that you can. Um, I literally just asked every single person that I found, and that is kind of how I started off finding our first guitarist, Jesse Stamper. He's actually a moto grader now, which is pretty cool. I'm happy for him. But I was asking an elderly lady if she had any relatives or anything that lived around town that played guitar. He overheard me, popped up over the cubicle, and said, "I play guitar," and it was pretty crazy. It was pretty awesome. Um, from then on, after work, we got off at the same time. We went and got to work immediately. We started. I had some stuff that recorded because I played guitar. I had some stuff recorded that I wanted to kind of make it sound like, and that's what we worked on, was developing his guitar playing to kind of match what I wanted as the sound. And that's another thing, kind of establishing your sound, having a goal to go for. I knew that we kind of wanted something like heavy, but not afraid to be radio friendly, that kind of stuff. So I had an idea in mind of what I wanted the band to sound like, and so that definitely gave us a focus to kind of work toward. Um, Now, having those rules and things like that to try to establish your sound, you got to know that you got to be able to break rules too. That was kind of half of it. When you get new members into your band, things are going to cycle, things are going to change, and you have to let that naturally happen. You have to bring out people's strengths and let them use that kind of thing. So, originally starting, we're a 2 guitar band. We ended up starting off as a 1 guitar band, bringing in a second guitarist, but we had 2 guitar parts written, so we're kind of like had that objective in the first place. I ended up recording a 4-song EP with playing both guitar parts, the bass, vocals, and then Matt Wingerter did the drums. They don't play drums or anything like that. But we started off with a real small thing, put it on MySpace at the time, and that's where we really started hitting online promotion. That's when Seth Peters was in Des Moines, Iowa, and saw we were looking for a second guitarist. It was like, and a bassist. We were looking at the same time. And he ended up getting a dual interview with him and his friend Roy. Came down, so we tried them both out. We ended up taking Seth, and by that point I had a drummer, 2 guitarists, and me. We're just looking for a bassist. I started talking to my friend Paul Sherdahl, ended up hooking us up with Josh LaVille, and so all of a sudden we have a 5-piece band ready to go, which is pretty cool. Once you have that, it's an amazing feeling, and chances are it's not going to be your final lineup, but things happen, things cycle, people grow, people once you find out what the focus is of different things, sometimes people have different visions, and you got to be willing to accept that. So basically, as each member joined the band, we grew and started developing our sound a little bit more and more. We had that 4-song EP, so we had 4 songs kind of written, ready to go, and then so we tried to write more music that was, kind of explain that, to those guidelines. We would practice quite a bit. We would practice for about 12 hours at a time, just writing music, learning each other's sound, doing everything that we could to make us a tighter band. We would practice with focus. We would practice to develop certain things like, stage presence. One day we'd work on stage presence the entire time. One day we'd work on accuracy the entire time. Flair, throwing different things in there, trying to develop on a scale. We kind of had this idea. We didn't want to choreograph anything, but we kind of wanted to be all on the same page. So we have like a scale of 1 to 4. Like 1 being real slow, walking around, kind of, feeling the groove. 2 being a little bit heavier, all the way up to 4, which is just balls out, letting out all your oxygen there on the stage. But and each part of those, we kind of cycled with the way the song would go, So we ended up taking practices very seriously as far as learning what we were going to do on the stage and try to give us the best foot forward before we started playing a live show. We started developing our online presence. Like I said, we had MySpace, and we had a 4-song EP when it was just me and Matt Wingerter, our drummer. So we started right then putting ourselves out there. And right now, especially, there's so many resources online for free, like online radio. So many different things will play you and play your music. You just have to go out there and reach for it. So it's crazy when I see some bands not on there. Like it's free. You have nothing better to do than to develop your career if you really want to do this as a career. So that's really the biggest thing, is dedicating your time and then spending as much time as you can getting out there, especially in free places that you can. There's other places you have to pay to get onto, but that's for later on down the road. So we're talking right when you first start your band. That's kind of how we got to where we're at and got our members. It was about being everywhere you would think a musician would be, looking in corners that you don't think people are going to be at, and it can be done. That's it. Like I had a dream. I've been working at this too since I was about 16, looking for band members in my hometown. I didn't find anybody. When I turned 18, I ended up moving to Ames, and that's why I moved to Ames. It's a bigger community than I lived in my small town. So I was literally moved to try to find band members. Ended up branching out toward Des Moines because it's a little bigger too, and that's what it's all about. Is like how far are you willing to go to get that. We've had a long journey since then, but that's going to be for future episodes. This is our first live session, so tune in, subscribe to our channel. We're going to have a lot more live sessions to come. You can probably expect another one here in about a week, next Monday. All right, so tune in about 3 o'clock Monday, whatever time zone we're in. All right, well, I don't know. We're in Mountain Time right now, so back home it's like 5 o'clock or something, but it should be. We'll try to keep it around 5 o'clock our home time. So 3 o'clock here. We'll see you next time.
Subscribe.